Hello, 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 and good afternoon. My name is Martin Cowart, and welcome to Noonday Meditation and Contemplative Prayer Power Hour, where we've been gathering in this virtual sanctuary almost a year now at the beginning of the pandemic as a way to love and support each other through this last year. We're going to continue because we're not out of it yet, although we're beginning to see some light at the end of the tunnel. And do me a favor, if you're joining me, please just put your say hello in the chat so that I know you're here. Otherwise, I can't tell. I just see a number on the screen. I'd like to know who you are. And also, I want to encourage you to please add comments and ask questions. And this is meant to be a dialogue. So if you've got questions, if you've got comments about Mary Oliver or any other poet that you want, anything, this is a safe space for just us to share. And this week we're celebrating women, and I'm celebrating it with women poets. And Mary Oliver is one of my very favorite poets. She was a lesbian, and she was a gifted poet. And I'll tell you something: if you ever get a chance, if you get a chance, go to Krista Tippett's On Being and listen to her interview with Mary Oliver. It is absolutely fabulous. It's one of the best interviews I've ever heard. It's Krista Tippett. It's On Being, and it's her interview with Mary Oliver. Mary Oliver died a few years ago, but she left us a wealth of fabulous poetry. And she was quite a woman, an inspiring woman. And it's just a joy. And hey, Audrey, how are you doing? I'm so glad you're here. We're celebrating brilliant women like you this week. And today we're celebrating Mary Oliver, and we're going to be reading her poem, The Summer Day. And you're going to see at the very end one of my very favorite quotes. I use it a lot, and you'll see why in a moment. As a planner, as someone who helps people plan their money and prosperity coach and all those kind of things, I love the ending of this poem we're going to discuss. So I'm just so excited to be celebrating women in the world today. And we've got so many, and I want to give a shout out to Amanda Gorman. I mean, she's changed the direction of the world. I want to talk about Kamala Harris, our new vice president. I want to give a shout out to Stacey Abrams. I want to give a shout out to all those marvelous women leaders in our government who are fiercely challenging people, positions of power. These women are really fierce about speaking truth to power, and I love that. I love that. Because they're not afraid of anything. When you're coming from your heart and you're coming from that divine feminine, you're not gonna put up with any nonsense. And these women, Amy Klobuchar and others, are just not having it. And now that we've got the majority, we're going to make some major changes. In that stimulus package is bringing more poverty relief than anything in the history of humankind. It is a game changer. The world is going to be different a year from now because of that piece of legislation. That old scarcity mindset and poverty mindset that we've lived under for so many years is so damn painful. It is gone. It is eroding. And so there are some people who are still trying to hold on to it. That's okay. They'll see the light soon enough, because the train has left the station. And we are moving toward a prosperity mindset. We are coming from abundance. We have discovered how powerful and what brilliant, creative human beings we are. If anything we've discovered during the last 12 months is just exactly how powerful and creative we are and how resilient we are. And women have been showing us the way. I think I mentioned the other day that I had joined this group of entrepreneurs, largely women entrepreneurs, called the Unstoppable Entrepreneurs. If you're a business owner, I'd highly recommend you checking out what they're doing, because they're doing some amazing work. But when I got in there, it was like joining a movement led largely by women to lead this world out of the poverty mindset. And they're doing it. And they're making money, and they're doing what they love. It's like my tribe. And now my job is to bring the gay community into that tribe, into that community. And join the movement. It's a movement. It's a movement to prosperity. We are tilting the scales away from the old fear-driven scarcity mindset to a mindset of love and joy and prosperity. And it's a much more fun way to live. And Mary Oliver's poems reflect the joy and the beauty of that world. Quite lovely. So let's just get to it today. I'm just going to get right to her poem. We're going to read it through twice. My invitation to you is just to sit back and relax and listen. You don't have to do anything. Just be still. Just listen and be still and let the words fill you up. I'm going to read it through twice because the first time our minds kind of are trying to process what it's saying, trying to make a story out of it. And then the second time, we're able to sort of like let go and just enjoy it and just enjoy for what it is. You don't have to we just can enjoy the words and let them sort of resonate with us and open our hearts. So allow the words to sort of open your heart. And then we're going to, and if there's a particular phrase or a statement in the poem that you like, then use that as a mantra when we meditate. And then we're going to meditate for 20 minutes. And then we'll answer any questions that you might have, and then we'll have our nice little power hour today. And the idea is to sort of take a break from all the drama out there in the world. That's what this is. It's like, okay, there's so much going on in the world in our lives, and I did this initially because people wanted to know how to meditate, and so I just brought my morning practice to the world, and people were so excited about it. People appreciated it, and they were joining me. I wouldn't say I was having thousands of people around the world, but I was having a handful of people every day joining me from around the world. And it doesn't matter just when we get one or two people if we're in connection, and also people like the replay. So it's been good for me. I mean, I got to tell you, it's grounded me this year and helped me get through this tough year. It has been brutal. It has been hard. I think we heard the other day that one in three people know someone that's died of COVID-19. That's hard. And there are a lot of people who right now whose family members are still sick. There are a lot of people right now who are missing their loved ones. And there's their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, their kids, their friends. This has been hard. This has been hard. So we owe it to ourselves and to them to get out of our head space and into our heart space. Right? Out of love for those people who we're not with. We can open our hearts and love for them and touch them and think about how they touched us. So let's see what Mary Oliver has to say right here. The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper. I mean the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous, complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do not know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the field, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Tell me, what do you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Love poetry. Love this poem. Love it, love it, love it. That's exactly what prayer is. It's to sit down and feel, open your heart to a grasshopper. The complexity and the beauty of a simple grasshopper in the grass. The summer day. So now, get yourself comfortable again. Take a nice deep breath, open some space, and let it go. Empty your mind of everything, every thought, opinion, and judgment you might be having about me, yourself, the poem, whether you like her or not, you don't like her or not, whether it makes sense or not. Just let all that go. Hold on to nothing. And just be still and listen. Listen from a place of openness. I don't know. I don't know what this poem means. Let it mean whatever it means to you in this moment. And that might change. That changes tomorrow. You might read the poem again tomorrow and it'll have a different feeling to you. That's the beauty of life, is that we're constantly changing, evolving, transforming. So allow this moment and this poem to transform you to a higher level of consciousness and to love. Okay? That's the point. That's why we're here. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. And now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know how exactly what a prayer is. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I don't know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is your plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Somebody's sending me a very, very long email. I'm trying to read it to see if it's relevant. So, I don't know for this is not the space for that type of conversation. I don't that you're asking questions that we don't have answers for here. You know, I'm glad you're here. This is more about spiritual healing and a place for you to get calm and a place for you to pray and contemplate. But I don't have any advice on treatments for cancer. So I thank you for being here. And I want to, and I don't want to expose to the world what you're saying here. So I'm going to refrain from posting those because I don't have answers for you. And that's not really what we're here about. We're here for more spiritual healing. And we can certainly pray for you to heal. And we want you to be here to heal and get through the cancer treatments that you're feeling. But I don't have, and I don't really want to put up an advertisement here for an herbal doctor. Okay. So that's not what we're here about. So thank you for your post. Thank you for being here. And if you want to send me a direct message offline, I may have some clients that might need your help. So I'm happy to listen to you, but I don't think this is the right platform for someone to be advertising their the cure remedies and stuff like that. Okay, so thank you for being here, and thank you for your suggestion. Having said all that, I'm going to go over now, and we're going to meditate. For 20 minutes. And let me get that started. And I like to always start with raising our hands. We're going to raise our hands. So I'm going to tell you, I got my COVID shot yesterday in my arm, and the arm's a little sore. It's not terribly sore. It's not something I can't live with for certainly. It's just like you know, when you got a shot when you were a kid in elementary school and you kind of sore for the day. That's kind of what it feels like. So I'm going to kind of carefully raise my arm up in the air. But I'm raising my arms up in the air, that life force within us to wake us up. Sit firmly in the chair as awake, proud human beings. But we're raising our arms today because we can. And we're raising our arms today in celebration of women. And we're going to raise our arms today, especially in celebration of Mary Oliver. Because her poem is beautiful, and she was a tremendous contribution to our world and while she was here. And that poem made my day. It lifted my spirits. So raise your arms right now in celebration to all the women in the world in your lives. And if you're a woman, raise them in celebration of yourself. And if you're a man, raise them up in celebration of the divine feminine inside you. It is not gender specific. The divine, I have a name for the divine feminine in me. Her name is Joy, the wise woman. So I'm raising my hands today in celebration of Joy, the wise woman within me, who guides me through every single day of my life. And I'm so grateful for her. So you can put your hands back in your lap and just start to breathe. And I'm going to teach you a little bit of breathing, a little bit of some techniques to meditate better. So give you a little tip. When we're thinking, the idea of meditation and contemplative prayer is to quiet the mind and stop and think less, have bigger gaps between thoughts, okay? When we're thinking, scientists tell us that the back of our tongues vibrate slightly. So if we can slow down the vibration of the tongue, it can slow down the thinking. Got it? So what do we do with your mouth? How do you position yourself? What I do, and you can try it and see if it likes. I take the tip of my tongue and I rest it on the roof of my mouth, just behind my front teeth, and part my lips and relax my jaw. And consciously let my breath massage the back of my throat to relax it and calm it down. Let me show you. Slightly lip, relaxed jaw, and I can feel the breath slightly massaging the back of my tongue. So just do that. Just take a few nice deep breaths. Just breathe naturally and allow the breath to sort of massage the back of your tongue with your tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Okay. Now we're going to start with taking 3 big belly breaths to get more space inside of ourselves. When we let the breath go, we're going to let every thought, opinion, and judgment go out with it, okay? We're going to empty ourselves so we've got space for the divine. All right? So with your belly muscles, pull the breath in through the nose, back down the back of the throat, open your heart and and expand your belly and pull the breath deep into your belly and anchor it like this. A little bit more. And now slowly let the breath go out and deflate it like a balloon. And as the breath goes out, allow every thought, every opinion, every judgment you have about me, about yourself, about this world, let them all go. Empty yourself. Anything you're worrying about, any problems you're trying to solve, just let them go. And allow the mind to get still. To open up that creative genius within us, that infinite intelligence. That's where we'll find the answers to our problems. So just breathe for a moment. Notice what's going on in your body. Notice any emotions you might be feeling. Are you feeling some joy? Are you feeling some anger? They shift from time to time. And allow yourself to feel the emotion, especially if the emotion is one of those, what we call a negative emotion, ones we don't really like, like shame, or grief, or sadness. Feel it. Feel it in your body. And allow that feeling to pull you deeper inside yourself. Now we're going to do another deep belly breath. Ready? Into the nose, down the throat, past the back of your tongue, into your belly, and open up your heart and open up your belly. Ready? Hold it for a second. Slowly let it go like a balloon and let everything go with it. Everything you think is good or bad, right or wrong, all your judgments about this world, let them go, let them go. Hold on to absolutely nothing. Forget everything you know about this world. And just be still and breathe, knowing that you are loved. Be still and breathe, knowing that you are loved. Feel into the abundance, the infinite space of creation within you. And just be still and listen. Listen with your heart. Listen from a place of love and gratitude. And there's that sweet interval bell to wake us up from a meditation when we're thinking. You'll hear that 3 more times during the meditation. One last big belly breath to bring the breath in and anchor it deep into your belly. Okay? Through the nose, into the head, down the throat, massage the back of your tongue, open up your heart, and pull it deep, deep, deep down your belly. Ready? Slowly let it go. And let go everything with it. And feel the expansion, feel the spaciousness as you breathe naturally. Be still and know that I am God. Oh, there's that sweet wake up bill to wake us up from our thinking, our planning, our worrying, figuring things out. The invitation is just to smile with gratitude and let them go and fall back into the world of I don't know, I don't need to know, that sweet world of emptiness. Oh, there's that sweet wake up bell. Thank you so much, because I was deep in some crazy thought, some crazy plan, and it just pulled me right out of that so I can let it go and come back to emptiness, come back to love, come back to spaciousness, come back to I don't know, and let everything else go. There's our final bell. There's our final bell. Well, you may not be late. You might. I have another. I have another. I have a live workshop in my financial heart space for gay, bi, trans men at 1 o'clock. Maybe you're confused, and that follows this. So you might be late for this noonday meditation and contemplative prayer power hour, which I do every day in all my mediums for the general public. But if you were tuning in for my workshop, it is coming at 1 o'clock, and it's inside the financial heart space for GBTQ men for them in a little while. So that may be what you're. So I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll join me if that's what you're looking for. I hope you'll join me over there at 1. And thank you for reminding me. I want to let other people know that I do have a. Oh, you're so welcome, Audrey. I always am just so happy when you're around. It just makes me feel so good. I appreciate it so much. You're a delight in my life. And so thank you for being here today. So anything else we want to say? And whoever was writing me about those herbal remedies, you can send me a direct message and I'll take a look at that and see what that's about. I don't quite know what that's about. Um, but I'll take a look at it. I mean, this is just not the place for that. So thank you for joining me today. And if you get a chance, again, I'm going to say this to you. If you get a chance, go and look up the podcast On Being with Krista Tippett and find the episode where she interviews Mary Oliver. It is absolutely one of the best interviews I've ever heard in my life. It will change your life. It's just beautiful. And you get to know Mary Oliver and what a brilliant and wonderful woman she was when she lived on the planet. And she's still inspiring us today with her lovely poetry. So tell me, what is it you plan to do with your wild and precious life? May love and prosperity prevail. Thank you.